Hi, host Eric here, talking with famous people, and I want to talk about reproductive viability, as they say, as I say, as I heard once in college, and I've said ever since. Um, it's rough, man. It's rough if you're a man who's not getting chicks, who doesn't understand how that shit works, who wants to love and be loved, but has no means of attainment because we are constructed of the narratives that we with which we coexist and which we create and which we affirm and which we negate. I certainly affirmed the narrative that I was no good with chicks for a long enough time. It continues to inform me, no matter how confident I might be. Uh, I'm shaped. I was shaped by that experience into somebody who's very much into knowing exactly what a relationship is at all times. I prefer to know like exactly where I am. Are we together? Are we not? Whatever. Uh, there's a lot of reasons for this, but one of them is obviously I don't, in my own narratives, think it easy for me to get chicks, even if I believe things are somewhat different now, maybe, but it doesn't matter because it's who I've been for such a long time that it wouldn't matter if it were easy for me to get chicks now because I'd still be looking for exactly the same thing, which is that one relationship where I can be comfortable. And I've, like anybody, at 45 years old, you get a little neurotic about shit. You got your problems. You got your fucking jealousies and worries and needs and well, this girl is cool, but she's not. She works when I want. This girl's cool, but uh, she, I don't know, she's too logical or whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, it is possible to process the world of women through a modality of dating and trying out and stuff and reserving judgment, reserving permanence, embracing the notion of temporary relationships. But that's not for me. For sure, it's not for me. I'm not interested in temporary relationships. I'm not seeking sexual satisfaction from temporary relationships. So, you know, that part of me was impressed upon me by something that may no longer be true, but the resulting bearing on things is unchanged because that set over the course of years, and phone's blowing up. Abraham, when I say to you in the text, if you're confused, call me. I mean, if you're confused, call me. Don't text me back. For Christ's sakes. Is that complicated? Anywho. Yeah, I could probably get plenty of chicks now if I tried. But it doesn't matter. I don't want plenty of chicks. I want one chick. One chick who meets all my needs. One ring to rule them all. Now, obviously, no chick's going to meet all my needs completely. But I have needs and I have wants. I need her to meet all my needs to a certain minimum threshold level. And then I got wants that, depending on how many of them I get fulfilled, and it's more or less that I want. So, anyhow, I'm not talking about my chick situation anyway right now. I'm talking about the reality of being not a non-reproductively viable man. It is difficult for some men to figure out, and it's a lot of high pressure, and there's a lot of sort of self-esteem associated with it. You know, no one wants their masculinity challenged. Everyone wants to be thought of as a man, you know, man's man. And there's this element of go out and slay the puss associated with that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But I get it. I get the idea that you have to be, something more than you naturally are. And that's okay. Because nothing good ever comes without a little bit of work, you know? Nothing good ever arrives in your lap just for no reason. You got to put some work into it. So what does that mean? Well, achievement helps, obviously, because what a woman's looking for most of all is I think two things in general. There are two things that a woman looks for: strength, and that can be in a lot of different areas. You know, if you've got strength in certain areas, that may be the kind of strength the woman's looking for, or may not. You may need to cultivate how you display your strength. You can have strength that's not displayed properly, it's not going to work. But if you have just a display of strength, that's not going to work either. It's have real strength, and it's got to come from somewhere that doesn't shift around a lot. That's not something you can choose to have. It's not something you can wake up one morning and say, from now on, I'm blah. It just doesn't happen like that. The only way you get real strength is by, it would depend on your type and your nature, but for me, it's establishing strong networks and attaining certain status socially. Obviously, it requires a minimum amount of financial success, but not a great deal of it. You don't got to be rich or anything. For me, to feel good about myself, I have to feel well liked. I have to feel central to a lot of hubbub and stuff. I'm extraordinarily extroverted, 90% extroverted. That's going to be a challenge to find a relationship that works for me. This is the sort of challenges that people face when they are extremely unbalanced in their configuration. So if you've got FE polar, you could be strong for somebody with FE polar, you could be weak for someone with FE polar. If you're weak for somebody with FE polar and you don't have the whole self-esteem down, stuff like that, it could be a really, really difficult conundrum to get out of. And I, for one, feel a great deal of sympathy for anybody who, like me, went through a period of time where they just simply didn't get it at all. And they felt really bad about themselves, like I did. I think I had about 4 years there where I didn't touch a woman from, I don't know, like 20 to 24 maybe, somewhere in there. 21 to 25, 22 to 26, somewhere in there. There was about a 4-year period where I didn't touch a woman. And by the end of it, I was a wreck. So I married the first thing I saw. That would marry me. That looked like she could bear a child. I was looking for a kid. I figured, fuck this. I don't need a woman. I'm going to get a kid. I just want to find a woman to bear me a child. I don't care if that's a good relationship or not. I just want a family. And, if I can't have a woman that I really want to have, then at least I'll have a kid. It actually ended up working out just fine that way. But my first wife was crazy. She's like mentally ill, basically, now. Alcoholic now. I don't know. She was always fucked up. She got worse after we got divorced. Anyway. That's sort of dumbass shit people do when they are desperate. They go for the first thing that jumps at them. But at the same time, if you are sound in the self, trust your judgment. Regardless, the key thing to do is remember the following things. Number one, if you're a dude who, like me, went through a stretch of time, is going through a stretch of time where you're just completely lost about that shit and don't even know how you'd go about trying to be unlost, and you just feel like you're a wreck, and you feel like you're getting beat up over this shit too, baby, then all I can say is I feel for you. I really do. And I know it sucks ass. Don't get angry. It's ugly. Don't get angry at women. They're not to blame. It's a fucked up world for everyone. Men are frustrated. Women are tired of being treated badly. Women are tired of being controlled, but they also want direction a lot of times. And they want us to be gentle. Gentle, and that doesn't mean weak, though. I mean, you gotta be a man, and that means demonstrating that you're not threatened. You're not threatened by, ideally, anything or anyone. But as a default course of action, you're not threatened. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to compete with those guys at all. You don't want to compete with them. I know it seems unfair, but they're here early.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they here early?
Did you hit raindrops?
I gotta go.
Otherwise?
You guys are here early.
Oh, fucking, we're here early.
Yeah, didn't it end at 8? No?